the word AI is very complicated and amorphous, but even more amorphous than perhaps AI is the word art. And one of the really fascinating things about this discussion is people use the word art in very different meanings. Like, and I'm not making any value judgments here, but for example, someone who models a tree for a video game, their title is artist, that they're a 3D artist. Someone who does, I don't know, a backdrop for a film, like a set, they're called an artist. Someone who makes an illustration for a book is an artist.
A subway worker is a sandwich artist.
Okay, that I was not aware of. But so, you know, musicians are called artists, actors are artists, and okay, we're all artists, but definitely the impact is going to be different. So I generally I don't say computers are going to make artists obsolete because that's just too broad, but creative laborers, people who put labor in what we call the creative sectors, which is also a problematic term, I think, because doctors can be creative, lawyers could be creative, unfortunately or fortunately. So creativity is nothing to do with art, really. You can be an artist without being creative, and you can be very successful, just apply the formula that works. But we call them creative sectors. So people who work in those fields, yes, there is going to be a lot of automation where maybe one person using software is going to be able to produce more output than 10 people before. Going back to your original question, one thing that's so fascinating, because there's a lot of anti-AI art hate out there on the internet, it mirrors the Luddite movement so much. In the early 1800s, when the Jacquard Loom was invented, what it did is it allowed unskilled laborers to replace and do the work more efficiently of the skilled artisans. And the introduction of this technology did not benefit the artisans, it benefited the factory owners. And so they effectively exploited the labor of the artisans, and then they managed to just dump them and switch to unskilled laborers. And now, with generative AI, you can produce images without requiring the skill of drawing or painting. On one hand, this is democratization, which we can chat about separately, but so I do think there's a lot of value in this, and it will allow many people to tell stories that they would not have otherwise been able to tell. But for example, Stability, the company behind Stable Diffusion, off the back of this huge pool of skilled artisans are now worth, well, they were worth 10 billion or something. What are those people worth? Nothing. They're potentially losing their jobs. So this is really the heart of the problem, is that where does the benefits of this in value, who does it benefit?